What is up, gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode on the channel. As always, so glad to have you lovely folks back on here. On today's episode, we'll be talking about how you can cultivate a magnetic sense of charisma in your day-to-day life, and ultimately we'll discuss the powers that this can afford you and the ability to navigate through the world, to make meaningful connections, to move forward on your mission and your purpose in life, whatever that may be. When we look at charisma, there's three key categories or three key factors that we have to consider. This is power, presence, and ultimately your warmth, how you project your warmth in any given situation. Look at each of these three subcategories as a chord on the guitar that you can play. Sure, if you keep playing the same chord over and over, what you end up with is a repetitive song. What we want to do is to take these three chords and, like Bob Dylan, master the ability to play them in different scenarios, in different contexts, with different rhythms. What we want to understand is that charisma is a gift that you not only give to yourself, but to those around you. You allow yourself to inspire others, to move others into action, and to ultimately work with others towards a common goal. It is a sad person who is unable to go out into the world and to affect their influence in a productive way. And these are the tools that I personally aim to cultivate. And I'm sure if you guys have clicked on this video, so are you as well. And we'll start off with number one, which is understanding our charisma. What is our charisma? Well, as I mentioned, it's a combination of these three key categories of our power, our warmth, and ultimately how we actually present ourselves, or our presence, our depth of presence. What each of these three key categories means is when we speak about presence, this means to be deeply engaged, to be present in the moment, and to be undistracted. Power is the projection of confidence and competence. And lastly, when it comes to warmth, it is displaying a genuine interest and a genuine empathy in the affairs of others when communicating with them. We'll start off by understanding presence. What does it mean to cultivate presence, and why is this by far the most important of the three pillars of charisma? Presence is a present in itself. It is your ability to show up to any given engagement and to give 100% of yourself. Think of the last time that you had a conversation, whether it's on dinner, whether it's through a casual conversation with someone who was not present, who lacked the ability to give you all of themselves. This person most likely left the opportunity on the table to truly get to know you and for you to get to know them. This presence applies in all areas of your life. It applies professionally and it applies in your personal life. When you are present, you are undistracted. You need to be very diligent about maintaining 100% of your focus and your attention on the given situation. It's important when cultivating your presence to have a sense of active listening. Sure, you may be conversing with someone and you may be listening to what they're saying, but are you truly listening? And part of active listening is the ability to follow along with what is being said, to interject when you need to interject, to add specific cues to the conversation that supplement what is being said, to encourage the person that is speaking to give more information, to go deeper into a specific subject. Your body language in this case also allows you to project that attention, that presence that you're giving. If you're shifty, if you're moving around a lot, if you're squirming around, if your focus in your body language is on playing with your hands or doing whatever it is, you are projecting a lack of presence. Presence is a very calm demeanor. It's a very consistent demeanor, but it is there. When you are present, you may say nothing, but you are felt in everything that you do. It's especially important in these times to maintain eye contact, to be able to give your gaze truly to the person that you're speaking to show them that they have your full attention. There's something magnetic about the ability to hold that eye contact for a prolonged period of time in a way that is substantial but gentle, that is present yet non-invasive. And this is something that you cultivate within yourself through your intentions over time. Of course, you need to be able to interject when you need to interject. Have open body language that is inviting. If you're sitting down with someone, try not to be in a defensive posture. Try not to be in a overly closed-in posture. Those postures, though they may feel comfortable, are a signal to the person in front of you that you do not have my vulnerable self. You do not have my open self, and I am not being present. I'm focused on what I want from this scenario. I am focused on protecting myself in this scenario, as opposed to saying, hi, I'm here, I'm listening, and I'm totally open to what is being said. You have 110% of my presence. The last way of cultivating your presence is also manage your distractions. Regardless of the scenario that you're in, if your goal is to be more present, manage your distractions. We are laden with all sorts of distractions on a daily basis, whether it's through our phones, whether it's on our emails, whether it's our iPads, whether it's the news. Your distractions are never ending, especially when you're on a one-on-one with someone. Make sure never look at your phone, never respond to texts, even if for a second. The inability to maintain presence over a long period of time and consistently breaking that presence is at your detriment. Look at presence as somewhat of a momentum source. It's not something you can just click on and all of a sudden you are present. It's something that you ease into. Sure, you may be meeting someone for the first time and you're getting off on the right foot, but you're building up towards that deep sense of presence, that deep sense of connection. And then all of a sudden, snap, and you check your phone or they check their phone and you find yourself completely taken out of that momentum that you had been building. So manage your distractions. Be diligent about also enforcing in others your boundaries when it comes to how they use their phone, how they focus on you, and be willing to go above and beyond to cultivate that sense of presence, not only in yourself, but empower it out of those that you are with. The second pillar of charisma is power. And when I say power, I don't refer to power in the sense of the word of exerting influence forcefully on others. This is not power. If anything, this is quite the opposite. Power is a self-assuredness that comes with time, that comes with actual assets and evidence that prove your competence in key categories. Your power comes as you prove to yourself consistently, as you have a undeniable stack of evidence to refute or that is unable to refute the claim of your competence. This is what gives you power over time, and power is built through competence, and competence is built through consistency, and that consistency is built through effort. So focus on one or two or three things. Know the things that you wish to give all of your competence to, and dedicate yourself and dedicate your life to building those things. Whether that is cultivating a business, building a business, offering a service, being able to grow a team, going into a niche industry and learning that industry inside out, building strong connections, showing up consistently, delivering to your clients, going above and beyond to satisfy the people around you. This is what builds up competence. That when you show up to something, regardless of what is said, regardless of what claims may be made against you, you have a stack of evidence that is undeniable in supporting your competence. This is what the projection, this is what allows you to move with a sense of confidence that is based on competence and allows you to project that power. It's not something that you have to say. It's not a title that you hold. It's not the title of owner. It's not the title of CEO. It's not the title of whatever it may be. It is your actions through repeated times, through consistency of action that builds up that competence. And when it comes to your competence, mastery is the first step. Think of the last time that you wanted to get into a hobby, whether that's learning to play paddle, whether that's learning a martial art, or whether that's learning to actually go and play an instrument like the guitar. Anything that you are going to get into that is worth the effort is going to take a long time to become extremely competent at. When you start, sure, you may get the beginner's rush of starting a new venture, and it may be exciting at first, but when the pain starts to set in, the pain of not catching on to something as easily as you might have anticipated, or as your routine from your day-to-day life starts to wear on and you start to lose that motivation, you start to lose that sense of dopamine that you get when you actually are engaging with a new task for the first time. This is truly where you're tested. This is the fork in the road that tells you, are you going to go through the trials and tribulations of building up this sense of mastery, or are you going to quit like 99% of other people? So mastery comes with being able to overcome specific scenarios in which the obstacles almost seemed unsurmountable, that only by sheer grit, sheer will, sheer perseverance and willpower, you're able to push through these monumentous obstacles and come out the other side with a true sense of mastery, and then things become fun. But mastery is something that is earned, it's never given, it's never bought. The last, more physical sense of your sense of power is your body language, how you present yourself. And it also may very well be the things that you wear. Sure, when it comes to how you project yourself, it's important to always stand tall. Stand up straight with your shoulders back, your head held high in an open state, never hunched over, never inwardly projected in onto yourself in a defensive position. Believe me when I say that how you hold yourself, how you carry yourself not only is interpreted by others, but it is also interpreted by your own subconscious, and it feeds back into how you actually move through the world, how you speak. Do you speak with authority? Do you speak with a sense of clarity? Do you speak with a sense of competence? If your body language, if the way that you're holding yourself physically does not line up with what you see verbally and what you say verbally, then that disconnect will be on display for anyone and everyone to see. The last pillar that we have to discuss when it comes to magnetic charisma is warmth, is the projection, the exudance of warmth. What is warmth? Warmth is an intangible. It's that feeling that you get from someone that's extremely likable, where you walk away then you're like, that is a likable person. I just felt comfortable. I felt present. I felt like I could connect with this person. The flip side is true with the person that you feel is cold, distant. You're unable to get through to them, and there's just something off. There's something that doesn't feel right about the experience you're having. When you meet someone, you need to be able to project a sense of warmth. And if you feel you're unable to do this, this is something you need to work on over time. We can look at the key identifiers of warmth, and the first one is ultimately to understand that empathy is everything. Understanding where people are coming from is perhaps the most underrated tip that anyone can ever give you about social interactions. Everything about your self-improvement is about you. It's how can you dress better? How can you get more fit? How can you build a bigger business? How can you, your social media platforms, your friends, everything that is surrounding you encourages you to look inward. We've become a very inward-facing society. And sure, that may be positive in certain regards, but too much of one thing will leave some things on the table, and one of those is empathy, the ability to cultivate a deep and genuine understanding for the person in front of you, for you to almost take their brain, take all of the layers of nuances that have built up the person that they become, their upbringing, their education, their trials, their tribulations, and try to truly understand from this person's perspective how they have come to that specific decision, that specific word, that specific whatever it may be. Is powerful, because when you can truly understand the frame of reference of someone, you now have the tools necessary, the vocabulary necessary, the frame of reference necessary to speak in a way that touches their soul. And this is the power of empathy. This is the power of truly trying to understand the person in front of you. The second key tip in cultivating your empathy or cultivating this sense of warmth is to give genuine compliments. So many people are afraid of giving others compliments because for some reason that may project a sense of weakness, or they may not even think about it, or it may negate their own strength, whatever it may be. But compliments are by far your biggest and your easiest tool in your arsenal to make a deep and meaningful connection. And when I say genuine compliments, it doesn't just mean to throw a half-assed or a half-hearted compliment at someone. A genuine compliment comes from a place that says, this is something that I've observed about you, that I understand about you, that I see and I appreciate it. I see and I appreciate it because X, Y, Z. It's not a half-hearted compliment. It's not a surface level compliment that says, oh, your hair looks nice today. It may be something that has to do with the deepest part of the character. You might say, listen, I appreciate how you notice X, Y, Z, and I can tell it's because of this. This shows, again, your empathy, this shows your presence, and this shows your ability and your unabashedness in giving compliments and to be unexpectant of what you may get in return. It's not about giving a compliment to receive a compliment. It's about giving a compliment for the sake of giving a compliment and giving a gift to someone else, because that is who you are and this is who you wish to be. Last but not least is positive body language. So we've spoken about body language in the context of power, where we said stand up tall, shoulders back, head stand high. We've spoken about the context of body language in your presence and how you maintain open body language. But when it comes to your warmth is a lot of what you say. Your speech should be slow, it should be tender, it should be understanding. It should not be sharp, poignant. Your vocabulary, the words that you use, sure, they should not be overly monitored, but they should come from a source of gentleness. And this is something that you build over time. Being warm with someone is an art that we must all build. It's something that we must be consistent at. It's something that we must force ourselves at, because the cost of not doing so is a connectionless life. It's a cold and vapid existence that does not allow us to really get into the nitty-gritty of what it means to have social connection. So take a moment and cultivate your sense of warmth. Cultivate asking the right questions. Cultivate understanding the people in front of you. Empathize with them. Try to see it from their point of view. Ask them the right kinds of questions. Lead the connection down the path that you wish, and watch your charisma become more magnetic over time. It's just something that you'll find through 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years practice as you become more masterful. It's something that you will always work at. But the end result is a more fulfilled life. It's a deeper sense of presence, a stronger projection of power that is substantial and that is beneficial to those around you, and it is a warmth that draws people towards you and allows you to build strong and meaningful relationships.